Hi everyone! So today I'm going to teach you how to crochet your very own pair of soakers. This is my first ever tutorial video, so if there's anything you don't understand or anything I do that might be confusing, please leave a comment below and I'll try to clarify anything for you. These soakers are adjustable, so they can fit any blade, and they are reinforced with a little bit of fabric at the end so that your blades don't poke through. These should function just the same as any other soaker, but you'll be saving a ton of money by making your own. So to get started, you're going to need a crochet hook. I'm using an 8mm hook, but you might use a bigger hook or a smaller hook. It just means it's going to take you a little bit less or a little bit more time to finish your soaker. You're also going to need a crochet needle, a pair of scissors, and a ball of yarn. So first you're going to want to make a loop for your crochet hook to go into. And I'm just going to do that again, just to make it a bit easier for you to see what I'm doing. And then you're going to make a chain that is about the same length of your blade, or a little bit longer, ideally. You don't want it too short. It'll be better to be longer because you can always adjust it later. And once you've done that, you're going to start double crocheting all the way down the chain. So if you don't know what a double crochet is, it's basically when you wrap your hook around the yarn, then go into the chain, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to pull through 2 loops, grab a piece of yarn, and then pull through 2 so that you only have 1 loop on your hook left. And you're just going to do that for each chain until you get to the end. So once you've done that, this is what your work is going to look like. And for the next step, you are just going to chain 1, turn your work upside down, and double crochet into the nearest chain that you can see. So I've pointed that out, it's just right at the bottom right there. Then you're just going to keep double crocheting around in a big oval, or I guess in an elliptical shape, until you get back right to where you started. So once you've gone round and around and gone into a size that's big enough to cover your blade, you are going to do a slip stitch to secure your work. And after you do that slip stitch, you're going to chain 1, cut your yarn, and then pull all the way through so that loop is gone and your work is extra secure. Then we're going to sew in our ends just to make sure that our work doesn't unravel later. Once you finish sewing in your ends, you're going to grab a very long piece of yarn. You're going to thread your needle. And then you're going to look for the straight end of your work. There should be a curved end and a straight end. You're going to start at the straight end, right down the middle, and work in a very wavy up-down pattern all the way around the top of your work until you get right back to the beginning again. By going in a wavy up-down fashion, this should create a drawstring that will later allow you to adjust your soaker to your blade. Once you've finished your drawstring, you're going to grab your scissors and cut a tail. Make sure to leave quite a bit of a tail. You don't want to cut it too short. And then you're going to test out your drawstring, see how it works, see if it works nicely. And then you are going to make a knot at the end of that tail. This knot helps to secure your drawstring just to make sure that when you're using your soaker, your drawstring doesn't come loose and completely mess up your work. So once you've tied that drawstring, you can test your soaker onto your blade. And when you do that, you're going to notice that the end kind of pokes through your soaker. That's okay, because I have a little tip to fix that problem. We're going to crochet a little square that we're going to sew onto the end of our blade, just to keep our blade protected and to stop it from poking through and hitting anything. So to make that little piece of square fabric that goes on the end of our soaker, we're going to chain 7. Then we're going to single crochet this time all the way down the chain. And once you reach the end, you're going to chain 1, turn your work backwards, and then we're going to continue single crocheting around till we get to the end. Chaining 1, turning around, keeping single crocheting until we get to a height that's about, let's say, 4x4, 5x5, just till we get to a height that's quite big enough to fit into our soaker properly. So when you're done, you're going to chain 1, then you're going to grab your scissors to cut the yarn, then you're going to pull all the way through so that your loop disappears, and then you're going to grab your needle and just sew in those extra tails right into the work, just so that you don't have any loose ends. So once you've done that, then we're going to begin sewing this little piece onto our soaker. So we're going to find that straight end again, grab our rectangular piece, flip the soaker inside out just to make it a bit easier to attach the piece onto the end there, and then start sewing the piece onto the soaker. A quick note, when you're sewing, you want to make sure that your drawstring doesn't get caught in your needle or thread, so you just want to move it out of the way just to make sure it doesn't get caught up in there. And once you're done sewing, you're just going to secure the end of your tail like normal and then cut the yarn. So once you've done that, you're all done. Your soaker is complete. And all you have to do is make the second pair and you'll be good to go. Once you test your soaker, you should find that your end is pretty secure and that your blade doesn't poke through the end. It should be nice and safe and snug. And yeah, that's about it. It should take you, let's say, half an hour to finish the two, but it's quite a nice and easy project, I'd say. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.